year is 1400 CE. The location is Rapa Nui, Easter Island, present-day Chile. You are standing on the most incredibly isolated, remote scrap of inhabited land on the face of the earth. In every single direction, there is nothing but 2,000 miles of deep, crushing, and absolutely empty Pacific Ocean. If you stand on the black volcanic cliffs and look at the horizon, you are completely cut off from the rest of the human race. For centuries, modern explorers and pop culture theorists looked at the massive, towering stone giants guarding this coastline and fabricated wild, impossible stories. They claimed it was the work of aliens or a lost, mystical continent that sank beneath the waves. We are completely discarding those fictions today. The truth is far more magnificent. Using advanced AI trained on the microscopic isotopic analysis of ancient obsidian tools, the meticulous archaeological mapping of the volcanic quarries, and the profound surviving oral traditions of the Polynesian people, we have completely resurrected the absolute zenith of this island's golden age. We are going to experience a society that engineered a breathtaking, sustainable paradise on the absolute edge of the abyss. Imagine carving a 30-ton mountain of stone with nothing but a handheld rock, commanding the deep-sea currents, and physically walking a monolith across the earth through sheer, brilliant physics. This is 24 hours at the summit of the Moai Builders. The day begins at 5 a.m. The sky over the Pacific turns a brilliant, piercing shade of violet. You wake up on the southern coast of the island. The architecture of your home is a masterpiece of extreme environmental adaptation. You live in a Ha Paenga, a house shaped exactly like an overturned canoe. The foundation is made of perfectly cut, interlocking basalt stones with small holes drilled into them. Flexible poles are inserted into these holes, bent over, and lashed together to form a highly aerodynamic curved roof, thickly thatched with layers of dry palm and sugarcane leaves. The winds on this island can be incredibly fierce, tearing across the open ocean with nothing to break their momentum. But the low, curved profile of your house forces the violent coastal gales to sweep harmlessly right over the top. You crawl through the low, narrow doorway and step out onto the grass. You are a tangata Maori, a master carver, and a highly revered elite member of your clan. You wear a finely woven garment made of beaten mahuta bark, tapa cloth, and a necklace featuring a beautifully carved wooden pendant. You walk toward the coastline. The sound of the ocean is a continuous, deafening, rhythmic crash against the black lava rocks. Just yards from the crashing surf stands the absolute spiritual anchor of your civilization, the Ahu. It is a massive, incredibly precise stone platform, acting as a massive ceremonial stage. Standing upon it, facing entirely inward toward the village with their backs to the dangerous sea, are the Moai. These are not merely statues. To you, they are Aringa Ora Atupuna, the living, breathing faces of the revered ancestors. They project an intense, protective, spiritual energy known as mana over the community, ensuring the crops grow and the people prosper. By 7 a.m., you begin the journey to the industrial heart of the island. You walk several miles inland, following a wide, packed dirt road toward the slopes of a massive volcanic crater. You are approaching Rano Raraku. As you crest the hill, the sight is staggering. The entire side of the volcano has been systematically, obsessively carved away. This single crater is the birthplace of nearly every single Moai on the island. The sheer scale of the operation is mind-bending. There are hundreds of massive stone giants sitting in the quarries in various stages of completion. Some are just rough outlines sketched into the bedrock. Others are perfectly finished, massive monoliths waiting to be detached from the mountain. You walk into your designated carving bay. The air is thick with a fine, yellow volcanic dust and the relentless, echoing sound of stone striking stone. You do not have iron, bronze, or steel. You do not even have wheels. You are using a toki, a heavy, teardrop-shaped handpick made from incredibly dense, dark basalt rock. You stand beside a partially finished moai lying on its back in the bedrock. The stone of Rano Raraku is volcanic tough, tightly compacted volcanic ash that is relatively soft and easy to carve when it is freshly exposed to the air. You grip the heavy basalt toki and strike the yellow rock. You are a master of anatomy, carefully defining the elongated nose, the heavy, brooding brow ridge, and the distinct, sharply angled jawline that defines the classic Rapa Nui aesthetic. The work requires immense physical stamina and an absolute flawless understanding of three-dimensional geometry. If you strike too hard and fracture the stone, months of grueling labor are instantly ruined. By 12 p.m., the tropical sun reaches its peak, baking the volcanic slopes. The carving halts, and the hundreds of artisans in the quarry gather for the midday meal. You walk down to a shaded grove where the families have prepared an umu, the traditional Polynesian earth oven. Because the island lacks vast, endless forests for continuous open fires, cooking must be incredibly fuel efficient. A deep pit has been dug into the earth and lined with porous volcanic stones that were heated in a blazing fire hours ago. The food is wrapped tightly in thick green banana leaves and placed directly on the glowing hot stones. The entire pit is then buried under layers of earth and grass, trapping the heat and the steam entirely underground. The earth is pulled back, releasing a massive, fragrant cloud of steam. The diet of Rapa Nui is an agricultural marvel. You feast on perfectly steamed kumara, sweet potatoes, along with massive starchy taro roots, vibrant yellow yams, and sweet sugarcane. The island's farmers are absolute masters of lithic mulching. They meticulously arrange thousands of small, broken volcanic rocks around the roots of the crops. These rocks protect the delicate soil from the fierce, drying winds, prevent the evaporation of the precious rainwater, and actually leach vital minerals back into the earth. It is a highly intensive, brilliant agricultural system that generates the massive surplus of food required to feed an army of full-time stone carvers. You supplement the starchy root vegetables with rich, fatty meat from the Polynesian rat, a prized, deliberately cultivated food source, and fresh deep-sea tuna caught by the master mariners. By 2 p.m., you leave the quarry and walk down to the staging grounds at the base of the volcano. You are about to oversee the most heavily debated, spectacular engineering puzzle of the ancient world. You must move a finished 14-ton stone giant from the quarry to a coastal platform several miles away. The European explorers who later arrived on the island assumed the statues were dragged on massive wooden rollers, theorizing that the Rapa Nui cut down every single tree on the island in a reckless, self-destructive frenzy. But the Rapa Nui oral traditions have always explicitly stated the truth. The statues did not roll, they walked. You stand before the towering moai. It is standing upright on a slightly curved, specifically engineered D-shaped base. 3 teams of men, holding incredibly thick, heavy ropes braided from the tough bark of the hau tree, are positioned around the statue. One team is on the left, one team is on the right, and a smaller team is positioned directly behind to stabilize it. You stand at the front, calling out a rhythmic, booming, hypnotic chant. On your command, the team on the left pulls with all their might. The massive stone giant tilts slightly, shifting its immense center of gravity onto the curved edge of its base, and heavily rocks forward. Then, the team on the right pulls. The statue rocks to the other side, taking another heavy, thudding step forward. Left, right, the sheer physics are breathtaking. You are using the statue's own massive, meticulously calculated center of gravity against it, harnessing the kinetic energy of the rock. The 14-ton mountain of stone literally waddles down the dirt road, walking upright toward the coast. It requires absolute, flawless community synchronization. A single misstep, a single broken rhythm, and the giant will crash face first into the dirt, snapping its neck. You watch the colossal, unblinking face swaying back and forth against the blue sky, witnessing a masterpiece of applied, profound communal engineering. By 5 p.m., you arrive at the coastal Ahu platform with the newly delivered moai, but the statue is not yet complete. You look toward the western side of the island, there is a completely separate, smaller volcanic crater called Pukau. From this quarry, the workers have carved the pukau, massive, heavy, cylindrical topknots made of vibrant, blood-red scoria stone. Some of these red stone cylinders weigh over 10 tons themselves. Using massive, steadily inclined ramps made of earth and stones, the workers flawlessly roll the red topknot up the ramp and carefully, precisely maneuver it directly onto the flat top of the moai's head. It is the crowning, majestic ornament representing the sacred topknot hair of a high-ranking chieftain. But the final, most incredibly sacred moment is yet to come. As the sun begins to set, casting a deep, fiery orange glow across the endless Pacific horizon, the high priests step forward. The moai is standing on the platform, facing the village, but its eyes are currently just empty, blank stone sockets. A master carver steps up to the face of the giant. He carefully inserts perfectly shaped, brilliant white pieces of polished coral into the sockets, locking them into place. Finally, he places a circular disc of dark obsidian or red scoria into the center of the coral. The visual transformation is absolutely staggering. The blank, dead stone instantly, violently springs to life. The eyes catch the light of the setting sun, gleaming with a fierce, intense, and deeply intimidating intelligence. This is the exact moment the statue wakes up. The mana of the ancestors is now fully activated. The giant is alive, and it is watching over the people. The spiritual weight in the air is profound, anchoring the entire community to the unbreakable lineage of their blood. By 8 p.m., the intense physical and spiritual labor of the day concludes. You return to the center of your clan's village. The night air is cool, and the coastal winds whip across the dark island. Massive bonfires are lit in the communal plazas. Tonight is a celebration of the successful placement of the ancestor. The Rapa Nui society is heavily divided into fierce, complex, competing clans, but the construction of the moai requires a massive, island-wide network of shared resources, peaceful trade, and deeply unified labor. You sit on a woven mat, sharing a calabash of fresh water. The musicians begin to play, beating complex rhythms on polished wooden gourds and chanting ancient, sweeping Polynesian epics. The dancers move in the firelight, their shadows dancing against the curved, thatched roofs of the Ha Paenga. You are surrounded by a society that has achieved a profound, sophisticated artistic pinnacle in total, complete isolation from the rest of the planet. By 11 p.m., the fires burn down to deep, glowing embers. The village falls quiet, save for the eternal, deafening roar of the ocean crashing against the cliffs. You walk away from the warmth of the embers and stand on the high, black volcanic rocks overlooking the sea. You look up. The sky above Rapa Nui is entirely untouched by light pollution. It is a blinding, overwhelming, infinite canopy of brilliantly clear stars. You do not look at the stars with simple wonder. You read them like a massive, glowing map. You are a descendant of the greatest, most fearless navigators in human history. Your ancestors did not discover this island by accident. They sailed massive, double-hulled wooden voyaging canoes thousands of miles across the open ocean, navigating entirely by the rising and setting points of specific constellations, the subtle changes in the ocean swells, and the migratory flight paths of the seabirds. They found a tiny speck of rock in an infinite void, using nothing but human intellect and the map of the heavens. You stand in the dark, the wind pulling at your tapa cloak. The island's ecology is incredibly fragile. You know that the palm forests are slowly thinning, and the resources must be managed with absolute, terrifying precision. You know that survival here requires an unyielding, unbreakable respect for the limits of the earth. You do not know that centuries from now, foreign ships with white sails will eventually appear on the horizon, bringing disease, devastating slave raids, and the tragic, violent collapse of your ancient social order. The moai will eventually be toppled in the ensuing chaos, lying face down in the dirt for generations before being restored. But tonight, the giants are standing. The white coral eyes are gleaming in the starlight, and the mana of the ancestors is absolute. You are standing on a solitary rock in the middle of a massive, dark ocean, completely secure in the knowledge that you and your people have built a masterpiece of human resilience that will completely defy the limits of the known world. This video is brought to you by the Paladin Learn History app. Scan the QR code to learn more history.